You ever look at a fancy bottle of skincare and wonder what's really going on in there? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the anti-aging rose gold oil. The folks behind it make some pretty big claims about their formula, so we're going to break down their own research to see how it all stacks up, ingredient by ingredient. Let's dive in.
So this is the big idea they're selling us. A symphony. Kind of poetic, right? It suggests that every single ingredient isn't just tossed in there, but that it's been carefully chosen to play its part in perfect harmony. It's a great marketing line for sure.
And that's exactly what we're here to find out. What are the actual instruments in this botanical orchestra? And more importantly, what does the clinical data say about how they perform? We're going to deconstruct this whole thing and see if the science really lives up to the symphony.
Okay, so the whole formula is really built around 4 core ingredients. The brand calls them the powerhouse players. So let's meet the team and look at the scientific profile for each one based on their own documents.
First up in the lineup, we have grapeseed oil. Now, according to the research, its main gig is to act as a kind of bodyguard for your skin, specifically protecting it from the sun's UV rays.
So, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of how it works. You see those proanthocyanidins and the vitamin E? Those are basically antioxidant superstars. And that 70% linoleic acid, that's a huge deal because it means the oil is super lightweight and won't clog your pores. The source material even highlights its antimicrobial properties, which makes it a really interesting option for anyone with acne-prone skin.
And here's where they put a number on it. According to their studies, using this can make your skin 12% more tolerant to UV exposure in just 10 days. And that's not just a vague promise of protection, right? That's a specific, measurable claim.
All right, let's move on to player number 2, rosehip oil. This one's a biggie. It's positioned as a natural, gentler alternative to synthetic retinoids. You know, the famous anti-aging ingredient that can sometimes be a little harsh. And this chart really spells it out for us. Look, both of them are said to stimulate collagen, which is exactly what you want for firmer skin. But here's the kicker. Rosehip oil gets you there with natural trans-retinoic acid, giving you a similar effect without that notorious irritation that some people get from the lab-made stuff.
And you guessed it, we've got a number to back it up. A study they cited showed a 20% improvement in skin elasticity over 8 weeks. That's a pretty solid figure for an ingredient that's aiming to give you retinol-like effects.
Our third powerhouse is Moringa oil, and its job title is the cellular regenerator. So what does that even mean? Well, this ingredient is all about encouraging the growth of fresh, healthy skin cells and helping repair the ones you've already got.
And check out these numbers. The source links this performance, a claimed 30% jump in collagen production and a 25% increase in cell turnover, to 2 key things inside Moringa. A ton of zeatin, which helps cells divide and grow, and a whopping 72% oleic acid, which helps it sink deep into the skin.
And last but not least, we have hemp seed oil. Its role is maybe the most fundamental of all. It's here to repair and strengthen your skin's natural barrier. You know, that crucial first line of defense against pretty much everything the environment throws at you.
Okay, so to really get what hemp seed oil does, we need to talk about a slightly technical term, transepidermal water loss, or TEWL. Just think of your skin barrier like a brick wall. TEWL is the measure of how much water is evaporating out through the cracks. So a lower TEWL number means your wall is strong, healthy, and really good at keeping hydration locked in.
So when you see a number like this, a 35% improvement in barrier function, it means a 35% reduction in that water loss. That's a huge deal. The source says this is all thanks to hemp seed oil's perfect 3-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, which is apparently an ideal match for our skin's own makeup.
So we've met the stars of the show, but a great performance isn't just about the headliners, right? You need a solid supporting cast. The formulation includes what the source calls a performance enhancement matrix to make those powerhouse players work even better. And there are 2 key players here. First, caprylic/capric triglyceride. Think of this as the ultimate Uber, a delivery system that helps the other ingredients get where they need to go more effectively. And second, you've got tocopherol acetate, or good old vitamin E, which acts as a stabilizer. It's like a bodyguard for the formula itself, protecting those delicate oils from breaking down. Okay, this is where that symphony idea really comes back into full focus. The claim here isn't just about the individual ingredients, it's about how they're combined to create something bigger, to actually amplify each other's effects. This chart gives us a cool peek behind the curtain at the actual blueprint. A massive 60% of the formula is made up of those powerful regenerative oils we discovered. The rest is this carefully balanced mix. You can see it's not a random cocktail. This is a very specific, very intentional recipe.
And here you can see some of those power couples in action. For example, they claim that when you combine the vitamin A from Rosehip with the antioxidants in grapeseed, you get a supercharged effect on cellular renewal. It's all about making 1 + 1 = 3.
So, we've covered the ingredients, the data, the synergy, but let's get to the real bottom line. What are you actually supposed to see in the mirror? Let's look at the timeline of results they lay out.
You can almost trace the science here, right? That immediate boost in hydration in the first couple of weeks, that's got to be the hemp seed oil beefing up your skin barrier. Then that enhanced radiance sounds like the Moringa oil kicking in with cell turnover. And of course, the longer-term goals, reducing fine lines and improving firmness, that points straight to the collagen-boosting work of the Rosehip oil. Every stage is tied to a specific scientific job.
So when you put it all together, the picture they're painting is pretty clear. Every single ingredient is in there for a reason. It's all chosen based on clinical data and then combined in very specific ways to get the most out of it. It's an approach that tries to frame beauty as a matter of science, not just opinion.
And that really leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? The data they present is compelling, no doubt. It links these natural ingredients to real, measurable outcomes. But for us, the challenge is always figuring out how to navigate that space where hard science is used to build a beautiful brand story. It's something worth thinking about the next time you're reading a product label. Thanks for tuning in.